Orlando Magic time, review time, preview. Almost time for the season to get kicked off. Mikey B, yeah, we stepping back on them. Trying to get some work in right now and talk about the Magic and where I see them as far as playoffs, Eastern Conference championships. Yeah, I'm going to mention that with every team because everyone has a shot. It's the new season. But let's first go over what has happened transaction-wise for the Orlando Magic on this team. First off, I want to look at their roster last year from a depth chart position. And as you can see, these are the guys that became free agents. I'm going to talk about the guys that actually played, and I'm going to tell you about somebody who was really important to this team that they lost. B.J. Johnson, peace out. DJ Augustine, huge, big contributor, one of the key factors to them, getting into the playoffs, making runs. DJ Augustine was clutch. He was a huge loss. I believe he went over to the Milwaukee Bucks. It's going to be exciting to see him there, getting older, probably wanting a championship and want a good run. Milwaukee probably gave him a better opportunity. He's there now and no longer part of the Orlando Magic. Gary Clark is another guy that was a free agent. James Ennis, Melvin Frazier Jr., peace out. He's gone. Mike Carter-Williams, Vic Law, and then Wesley Iwundu, he was also out. So how do I know they're out? Because we go to the signings. These are all the signings out of the 27th. Again, they made some moves, and as you can see, there's no Iwundu, there's no Augustine, and there's no Melvin Frazier Jr. Who did they pick up in place of that off of free agency? I'm going to tell you some exciting guys that have been brought to the table to help out this team, and I think they've become a much more athletic team, in my opinion. Devin, I'm going to skip over these guys, okay? Don't know them. No disrespect to these guys. They appear to be practice guys trying to make the squad. They could surprise me and come out. Not sure. But right now, I'm going to go to the first guy. Jordan Bone, drafted from the Detroit Pistons. Big pickup for them. I'm telling you, from a backup guard perspective, if given the opportunity and burn, he's a deadly, deadly player. I think he can become one of the stronger defensive players on a second unit for any NBA squad. I'm excited to see what he's going to do. I understand Fultz is there, and I understand they drafted Cole Anthony. But from a big guard perspective, 6 foot to 6'2", a little bit muscular, but I think his athleticism, his patience. Think of Monty Morris on a more athletic side. And I would say Jordan Bone doesn't necessarily score like him. He's just very structured. He's not going to get you in trouble. I'm excited about Bone on this team. I would love to see him get an opportunity. Okay, I'm going to skip over Kareem Maine, even though he did make the team. Robert Franks is another guy. They signed in James Ennis, the defensive hauler. Again, they're making sure they're keeping their defense steady on this team. And, again, with their lineup, when we get to it, it makes total sense. Dwayne Bacon also joins the team out of Charlotte. Charlotte made moves, decided not to move on with Bacon. Bacon is a sleeper. He is a starter in this league, in my opinion, on the right team. However, there is no right team right now. Everything is flooded. So Bacon joins the Orlando Magic, and he's probably going to get the best opportunity of his career. With a lot of the shooting guards and small forwards on this team getting a little bit older, Dwayne Bacon finally gets in a situation where he's going to get some run, and he will have the ball in his hands. This is definitely an upgrade over Wes Iwundu, Michael Frazier Jr., any of those guys, in my opinion. Okay, we continue on and move on to Michael Carter-Williams Jr., a critical piece, an all-around guard, can do point guard, shooting guard, can even fill in for small forward. Rookie of the year at one point. Don't forget about that. So not only do they have Fultz out of the Sixers, they got Michael Carter-Williams out of the Sixers. What a forgotten man he's been, and what a great job he's done on the Orlando Magic. He's finally found a home. He's finally found a role. And I love what I'm seeing out of Michael Carter-Williams. Definitely a good re-signing. Gary Clark comes over from Houston Rockets, a guy, a stretch three, we can play four a little bit, stretch the floor. We'll see what he has to offer. And then the big one, obviously, in the draft, Cole Anthony. What a steal. Everyone was sleeping on this kid. I made a couple videos talking about, hey, on my Off Work Sports channel, dangerous ability and special player. Cole Anthony comes in, and he's going to have a big opportunity to get minutes. And I tell you what, if Fultz starts shooting really bad, because he doesn't shoot at all, it's going to be trouble for Fultz. I'm not going to lie to you. However, Fultz has finally found a niche in where he doesn't have to use his shooting to make an impact. He can shoot inside of, I would say, inside of 19 feet. He can still get it up there fine, well, not fine. He can get it up there and get it done. Let's go into the depth chart and look at the lineups right now for this team. Again, how it lines up right now. Point guard position, Fultz is the number one. Cole Anthony comes off the bench. I love that. I love Jordan Bone possibly stepping in there. Then they got Williams and Maine. Okay, so now that they're stacked kind of on that position. I think they are probably one of the better depth teams when it comes to guards in this league. Okay, I'm going to move on to the shooting guard. Evan Fournier has been there forever. Terrence, the shooting man Ross, has been there forever. These guys are solid. They've done their job. X factor is Dwayne Bacon. He's going to have the opportunity to step in there. And I think Cole Anthony's more of a scoring guard versus a point guard. You also see Cole Anthony step in that role. Wouldn't be surprised to see Cole and Markelle running the floor at the same time. That's all, but that would also be exciting. Now, moving on. Small forward position. One area where I think they can improve and they need a starter there is Jay Menace Jr. starts. It's interesting. Dwayne Bacon is coming off the bench. Can Dwayne Bacon make enough inroads to move into that starting position? They're also missing Mr. Jonathan Isaac, who's off on injury. Remember, ACL. Aminu is also out on injury. So you add on one of those guys who probably Isaac comes back into that starter role, or Bacon. That is a strong lineup. And now you're looking at it, you're saying, man, we got the number one pick, a guy who could definitely a lottery pick should have been, right? Cole Anthony. Then you got two solid shooting guards that can actually shoot the freaking lights out of you. And then you add on a healthy Jonathan Isaac, maybe 4 months down the line. Bacon can give him a breather, along with Bacon, as I mentioned. Ennis on the bench coming from a defensive perspective. Aminu in the spots. I love it. I love this team, and from here down, it tells me they're a special team. All right, talked about Big Four, not no Big Three no more. It's about the Big Quattro, and they're looking like they're close to it. Now, Aaron Gordon, the big dunk champion, comes in at power forward, really a small forward, but I don't mind him playing here, right? Gives you a little bit of advantage, a speed advantage. He can stretch the floor a little bit. He can get by probably 90% of the power forwards in the NBA. I'm excited for Aaron. I think he's going to have another big year. He's definitely a borderline all-star, in my opinion, in everything that he does. He's not going to show up in the points department. He's going to show up in the all-around department. So maybe 18, 10 rebounds, 3 block shots, 5 assists. That kind of guy is Aaron Gordon. That's all-star potential because he does it in everywhere, all right? Now, their all-star is Nick Vujicic, okay? He's been there forever. Comes back this year, and he has some help. Ken Burch is there, but obviously the guy that I'm looking for, a new progression of growth, is Mo Bamba. Came out of Texas, another forgotten man. Orlando seems to like to do this, getting the forgotten men, and said, you know what? We were going to play these guys because you forgot and you slept on them. Don't sleep on Mo Bamba. He was a superstar-like talent coming out of high school. Definitely an all-star looking talent coming out of Texas. Faulted to injuries and then working his way through playing time. And then just a coaching team that's developing him, getting him the muscle. This is a guy that's over 7 foot, over a 7-foot wingspan that can shoot the 3 block shots. Also is athletic. When he finally gets the green light, it's going to be exciting to see him. And for the first time, I think the Orlando Magic have a formidable team that can compete with anybody in the NBA. Now, not to say in the past, because they're going to say they made the playoffs and they beat these teams last year. I think it was coaching, man. I think they were a great coach team. They were gelling. They got along with each other. And those are more different type of wins. This is a powerhouse now. This is something that could be formal if they could strengthen the small forward position a little bit more. Because I'm worried about Isaac's health as he comes back, but we've seen Durant. Durant looks good, There's a lot, and Duval looks good. So this technology, the health technology's got up to a point where, hey, no injuries too bad. Right now, we don't know. We've seen Cousins; he looked good, then re-faltered. But right now, the Orlando Magic to me are a serious contender for the Eastern Conference Championship. Yeah, you heard it here first. So where are we at from a standings perspective as we step back and look at the Orlando Magic and the teams involved in the East side. Let's get to it. We're going to jump to those teams. So they play in the Southeast Division, where they have the Washington Wizards, the Miami Heat, Charlotte Hornets, and Atlanta Hawks. Atlanta Hawks made strong moves this offseason. I still don't see playoffs, and Lloyd Carr is going to be in trouble. However, you got the Charlotte Hornets. I think they're still going to be in the lottery. Great moves, but getting LaMelo. However, they need something a little bit more oomph to it. Superstar talent. I think Rozier is solid, and I think the other guy, Graham, is solid. I like Graham off the bench. I'm straight up with you. Looks like a great six-man, can score the life out of you. They need a true shooting guard. I don't know if LaMelo is that. You know, they may move him there, but anyway, we'll get to Charlotte in a second. Miami Heat in the next video, actually. Miami Heat, again, champions. What more can I say? I mentioned the moves they made put them back in that running, right, to repeat. So I like them. Precious Achiuwa is exciting. I would love to see what he's going to do if given the minutes. I got the Heat, and then next up, I got the Magic. In my opinion, the Magic are the second best team in the Southeast Division. I didn't mention the Wizards and Russell Westbrook. They're probably going to sneak in that third slot because of Westbrook. But those are the three teams there that I think are exciting. Then if I go over and I look at the Central Division, and this is supposed to be the playoff analysis, Chicago Bulls are improving, Cleveland's improving, Indiana, Milwaukee. Are these three stalemates, right? Is Indiana for somehow, some damn way, God knows they always make the playoffs. They're in there, right? So those three are kind of the guys that will be running, right? So you think Chicago's on an improvement year. Can they knock out Detroit? Can they knock out the Pacers? That's the question. Will it be Milwaukee, Detroit, and Chicago? That is the question. Somebody needs to knock out Indiana. I don't know if they can, because that team's gelled well, right? They're gelled well. They might have more talent, but they're gelled better, so they know each other. Now the next up, that's 6 teams right there. Are they going to take another 3 teams here? Can't make sense, right? There's 8 teams that go to playoffs. We know Brooklyn's there. Who else from this side? Will it be the Raptors? Will it be Boston? So it's a tough run right now for these playoffs, and Orlando is going to have a tough time, right? Wizards may have to be out of there, right? Miami, Orlando out of the Southeast. Central Division, I'm going to go over this again in another video. Milwaukee, maybe I hate them, but Indiana, maybe one more, right? Maybe one more, and then if not one more, you take the next 4 from here, right? Boston, Brooklyn, 76ers, and Toronto as the teams. I'm worried about the 76ers, though. Really worried. Not sure if they'll make it. But anyhow, that's the way I see it right now for the Magic. And their depth is just incredible. The moves they made in drafting Cole Anthony was exciting. I think this team is definitely one to watch, and they're being slept on. They got enough shooting now to pay dividends in Fournier, Ross, and Bacon. Now, maybe one more three-point gunner. Maybe get Bamba back. Vujovic has some range. Gordon has gained a little bit range. Stretch 4 and Gary Clark to shoot the 3. I love them. I don't know what Chuma Okuki is going to do. Didn't really like the draft pick, but I guess he looks solid out there and doing what he needs to do. So I'm going to sign off here, stepping back. Orlando Magic, yeah, they're making the playoffs, and they're a competitor for the Eastern Conference Championship. I'm signing off here. Peace.